Yesterday was the Tesla earnings call. And the way that earnings calls work is that there's a bunch of people who pretty much know very little about an industry or a company because they're outsiders. They can't possibly know as much as the insiders. And they do their research and try to get educated. So go from knowing nothing to knowing as much as they possibly can. And then they make predictions. And as we know, humans are really bad at making predictions. But those predictions are around things like earnings per share, revenue, expenses, profitability, etc. And what the predictions are, it's called expectations. And we're expecting them to report this. And those expectations, frankly, mean nothing. It's just simply a game that Wall Street plays. And it drives a very short-term mindset in the eyes of investors. Every quarter, they want to see, what was the earnings report? Did you beat expectations? There's a whole game to it. Well, Elon Musk doesn't really give a shit too much about expectations nor Wall Street. But Elon Musk did yesterday exceed expectations, like a report card every 90 days or so. And he exceeded expectations. So it was estimated that Tesla was going to report 98 cents a share in terms of their earnings per share. Instead, they came in at $1.45. Beaten expectations. Revenue was expected to be $11.3 billion. Instead, it came in just under $12 billion at $11.96 billion, exceeding expectations. But the most interesting fact is this one right here. The net income in the quarter for Q2 was over $1 billion for Tesla. And you can see if you go all the way back pre-2010, they've lost money every single quarter. And then right around 2017 or so, bam, they had this one little blip. Then in 2018, they got a little bit better. Oh, nope, we're going to go back to losing money again, 2019 or so, into 2018 into 2019. And then pretty much since then, they've been driving net income. Now, the reason why this is so fascinating to me is because if you look a year ago, the net income 1 year ago in Q2 was only $100 million. So already the business has 10x'd their net income in a year. This is incredible. There are lots and lots and lots of businesses on Wall Street that wish that they could report quarterly net income of over $1 billion. There's also a lot that wish that they could grow 10x in a 12-month period. Now, what's always fascinating to me about this business is that there's a lot of naysayers on Wall Street. And those naysayers basically take the approach that Elon Musk is a huckster, he's a liar, he's misleading people, the company's going to go bankrupt, look at the financials, all this stuff. And they said that over and over and over and over again. But the devil is in the details, and the results speak for themselves. They are now turning a quarterly net income of $1 billion. A lot of those naysayers aren't really talking that much anymore. They've kind of shut up. They were disproven. There was this massive short squeeze. There was a stock split. And Tesla seems to be defying the odds. I think the statistic is they are the only one of two American car companies that has not gone bankrupt. Is that right?
Believe so.
Yeah, major car companies, I'm assuming.
Major car companies in the U.S. Only one of two that have not gone bankrupt. Now, there's a lot of details in there that matter. We'll get to in a little bit. But they continue to defy the odds. And so what ended up happening yesterday was we got a couple of news items, and we also got some laughs. Elon now will not be participating in the quarterly calls. He will still speak at the annual meeting, but the quarterly calls, it appears that the CFO and others on the executive team will do it. Elon himself will not be participating in them. But in true Elon Musk fashion, he couldn't possibly attend his last earnings call as the CEO of Tesla and not have some fun. So the first thing that he did was he went at Apple. And he said Apple uses, I think, almost 100% cobalt in their batteries and cell phones and laptops. But Tesla uses no cobalt in the iron phosphate packs and almost none in the nickel-based chemistries. On a weighted average basis, we might use 2% cobalt compared to Apple's 100% cobalt. Anyways, it's just really not a factor. Now, he's specifically going after Apple, which may seem weird because you think of Apple as a computer or a smartphone, an AirPod type business. But Apple has car aspirations, and those car aspirations are a little unclear. The car aspirations appear to be EV-based. Also, there's an element of Apple approaching it as a technology company, similar to how Tesla approaches their car manufacturing. So this could simply be Elon upfront taking jabs at Tim Cook and Apple and kind of letting them know, if you're going to step in the arena with the gladiators, I'm not going to take it sitting down. I'll be jabbing you from here starting today. But Elon couldn't just let it sit there. He had to take it a step further. And our friend Trung Fan found this amazing clip where Elon resorted to classic high school antics where he basically took another jab at Apple, but coughed when he did it. And so here is the clip I think we have that you can go ahead and listen to exactly what Elon said.
It is not to create a walled garden and use that to bludgeon our competitors, which is sometimes used by some companies.
So let's see if we can play one more time and put the volume up a little bit louder, and make sure you pay attention to the very end here, where exactly what he says.
It is not to create a walled garden and use that to bludgeon our competitors, which is sometimes used by some companies.
So we now have the second richest man in the world participating in his last earnings call as a CEO of what I believe is the most important electric vehicle manufacturer in the world. And he literally says Apple in the middle of the earnings call. I
think most people would have just assumed he did that because it's his last one, but I think he's just being funny. Like, that's just who he is.
That's Elon.
Yeah.
I completely agree that he literally is just having fun.
Yeah.
Do we think that there should be concerns about a CEO doing this?
No. Why?
I actually think it's a fantastic marketing move. And this is the type of stuff that the old school Wall Street folks get really upset about. But Elon Musk just scored points with the most important demographic, which are the future Tesla buyers in terms of the people under the age of 25 that are into technology, think Tesla is a cult brand, and they think he's funny.
Yeah. And the reality is it doesn't matter because he's winning, right? He's winning. Their cars are cheaper than ever before. They're selling more cars than ever before. Their margins are higher than ever before. And they're creating this network effect of thousands of supercharger stations across the country and a repair fleet of over 1,000 cars. He's winning. And at the same time, all these other car manufacturers, the major ones, Ford, I think, announced recently that they're going to spend $30 billion to accelerate to get 1/3 of their fleet fully electric by 2030. He's winning. He's early to the game. He's already built up kind of a frontier that's going to be hard to penetrate for these other companies, and they're going to spend billions of dollars trying to catch up to him. So he's funny and he's winning. It's a good combination.
He is considered a troll by most people, but I actually think this is the new era of marketing on the internet. Right? When he does all
Talking directly to shareholders.
He talks directly to shareholders. The AMC president or CEO did I think it was an earnings call or an interview, and he accidentally, and I'll put that in air quotes because nobody knows if it was intentional or not, let the camera fall, and it showed that he had no pants on when he was doing the interview. And the AMC crowd went nuts.
You think that was on purpose?
I'm not going to say that it was on purpose, but I find it hard to believe that a professional like that has gone his entire career. He's never had that happen, and he accidentally lets it happen at the same time that the Reddit crowd runs over.
How much attention has been on his phone calls before AMC?
Are you claiming that he previously had his underwear showing on
I don't know.
earnings calls?
Don't know. Maybe. I don't think he was doing many of these before on YouTube, so.
True. But I think that this is a new era where people realize you can basically get free marketing by doing this stuff. Also, there's an element of Elon just thinking it's hilarious that he just Apple on a call, and he knows that Tim Cook's going to hear that and be like, dude, come on. Like, how do I compete against this guy who literally is willing to do things that I can't do?
If you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life. He loves it.
SoFi.